did. I wish I know then like I know now.
I could only go to university if I could find a place within easy travelling distance from my home. Unfortunately, I was able to do this. I felt quite proud when I got accepted. It was quite a lengthy and a severe interview, and I felt quite proud because I know that at universities there's only a very small percentage of people are taken in from thousands of applicants. But I soon realised when I got there that I hadn't been selected from thousands because there were other mature students there, and I don't know how many had applied, but I'd only been accepted from a much smaller number, but still very, very pleased to be there. And in my naivety, I thought that I was going to now be taught by professional artists into the skills of painting, drawing, sculpture, printmaking, and all the other disciplines of art. But that was soon shot down because, and you like me to tell you these little stories, we were taken to an exhibition. I think it was David Hockney, who I like. He does a lot of etching and theatre design, and as well as his drawing, and I particularly like him, and I think it was him. Anyway, I'm standing looking at the picture, and the boss lady comes up, the boss of the whole art and design department, probably about half the age of my daughter, but she held this very high position, and she asked me what I thought of the picture I was looking at. And I thought I'd better say something a bit more intelligent than very nice, miss. And I said something like, I can't remember, but I said, well, I like Hockney. I particularly like him because of his etchings and his draftsmanship and the skill that and I'd half got the word skill out, and she went berserk. She got herself into quite a state, and I thought perhaps, oh dear, well, maybe it's the wrong time of the month or something. But she went on, skill. Don't be ridiculous, man, she says. If you think you're coming here to do that, you're in the wrong place. We don't do anything about skill, and she stomped off. So I learnt the lesson quite quickly, and of course at that time, and as it is now, the wheel of the art movements has stopped at a point where everything is conceptual art. And really at that point I thought, well, I'm not into this. I never understood Andre's bricks any more than anybody else did, but I was there and it was going to be fun, and so I stayed. But another incident that might sort of illustrate the same point. What you must know is that although we had the facilities for the whole of the libraries and machine shops and casting places and print rooms and things, we were all allocated a small space, which was to be our so-called studio, where we would do our work, and where we would be expected to be found if needed. I was never there because I was interested in printmaking, and I escaped to the printmaking department most of the time. But the time came when we were demanded that we get out of bed before 12 o'clock and be there. And next to me was a young man who, I don't know what he did really, but on his windowsill were two milk bottles, one that was empty and one that was contained something, some old milk that had gone green and sour, and mould was growing on it. And I don't know what the tutor said to him beforehand, but I heard him eulogising about his work, which he considered was these two milk bottles on the top. And so there there you are. But that was another lesson learned, because I realised that you didn't have to tell them what your work was about, because they would tell you what it was about, and you could use that to your advantage. If they came round and you said, well, I'm doing this, and you used a big word, and like in etching I would say something like, well, of course the joy is I never know what is going to happen. The whole serendipity of the thing is so wonderful. And he would say, yes, but what is coming out is what you have put in. It is all about you. And anyway, so there we go. A couple of little stories that might amuse you, but I don't want to leave you thinking that the whole thing was frivolous, because it is not. They're very serious-minded people who gave a lot of attention. We had to do a lot of research to prepare for seminars that we might have to produce on the subject, and then of course the dreaded dissertation, which has to be an original piece of work at the end, and it was very hard work, but it is 9 whatever. Oh no, that's all right. That's only 9 megabytes. It's only 6 minutes, so I can go on. I wonder if I've got time for the next story. Yes. At the end of each year or end of each semester, we all had to put work up in a public space, so the public could see where their taxes were going, and we had to be there in case we were asked anything and make some intelligent remarks. And we were standing at there was a plinth in the middle, and we were standing there, 2 or 3 of us, doing nothing, which of course is something we got very good at, actually. And on the top of this plinth, this white plinth, was a brown circle, not in the middle, but in one of the 3rd divisions, which we'd all been taught years ago, and that was the place that things should be divided into thirds. And a tutor came along, and he looked at this, and he pondered and pulled his beard, and he said, "This is very minimalist," he said, "but interesting. Yes, interesting. This says a lot. And anyway, I can't remember, but he started to eulogize about the wonder of this, what he thought was a work of art. You see, when a girl came in and said, "Excuse me," and she put on top of the plinth a bit of bronze sculpture, which was quite nice. I forget what it was now, but it was quite nice, and it was obviously her exhibition space. And so one learned how to, I don't know what, buck the system or whatever. We also had visits from supposed renowned artists who were paid a lot of money to travel from wherever, put up in hotels and fed, to give us lectures. And that was quite an eye-opener as well, because I remember one woman who came along, and she stood in front of us and she said, "I'm a lesbian." So I thought, yes dear, I think probably we might have known that, and proceeded to well, I'm not even going to tell you. There's a lot of young people who watch this program. They don't need to know, but her work, I don't know, her work, which she thought was very wonderful, could have been put on sold to a pawn site and probably raked in a lot of money. But I have to go now, and I hope to see you again very soon. So for the moment, goodbye.